And speaking about the environment, I think that we also need. Judith Fall has written an interesting book about nature and borders. This is Sweden, sadly to say, and this is Norway. Now it's a bit, it could happen the other way, but you have big cuttings, clear cuttings on the Swedish side. Here is the border cairn, and then you see the border running southwards from an area that here is pretty hard to represent. Border rivers, and this is Finland on that side, Sweden on this side, and for a while it was even so that there was different legislation so people could swim and have fun on the Finnish side. On the Swedish side it was forbidden because of pollution. It's a bit strange. But another aspect is this linguistic aspect. This is an area that was 100% Finnish speaking 100 years ago or 120 years ago. And you can see the only sign is in Swedish and English. We return to history. I know last year there was a series of articles on the history of boundaries in the Journal of Borderland Studies, but I think there is a need for another type of historical studies. This is Narva. The trucks were waiting somewhere here outside, and this is the de facto border between Estonia and Russia, the Russian Federation. But this, on a map from 1992, is the old 1920-1940 border. And if you cross here, there's no sign of it at all. No remembrance, of course, on the Russian side, of course. While there has been a discussion in Estonia how to depict the map of Estonia on the Euro coins. This is the Holy Empire of the German nation in 1786. And there's a number of boundaries here. And I don't think we should try to describe those. But there is an interesting example from a small town called Anklam in northern Germany. And in 1720 it became a border between Sweden and Prussia. And the description of all the effects of this border corresponds very much to what we can see today. Smuggling, concentration of certain things on one side, and police trying and so on. So, using history as a kind of check if our concepts are valid over time. And this is also about history, remembrance, which has become very popular today. This is a monument or a grave to fallen in the German, on the Danish side, and it was taken away during the German time and put back, and it says it will never be taken away again. Mm-hmm. And perhaps there is some need for irony, and I beg you to excuse me if there are Germans here. No, if there are Russians here. This is Norway, and that is Russia. So, So I think we are united in being interested in this line that contains nothing but has so many repercussions on people's lives on the world. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, Thomas. It was supposed to be a closing lecture, but I think it's almost an opening lecture. You can continue for years and years and years. We have